Welcome back to another video, house tour at the Sharkstead. As usual, I'm outside the front gate on the street, but we're not going to go through this way this time. We've had huge developments on the other side, so we're going to enter through the side gate, which is probably what not many people have seen. So this is our street. You can see the house looks really nice from this edge. So it's been about 4 months. I think it's the 2nd of November today. It's around about 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to reach 25, so it's pretty good for this time of year. So that's the side of the extension. This used to just be black gates, cut a hole in it for a window. So we're using this for the primary entrance at the minute. This is just the back alley. So we recently got the propane tank back from the company who's trying to sort our boiler out. Got a generator under there. So we used to have the gas bottle store here. You can see the cement has left a bit of remnants, but we're going to paint over that. So the LPG hose used to go through there, and the utility room's behind that. You can see the boiler was on the wall on the other side. So now we've got an extension lead going through the existing hole to plug into the inverter on the generator for emergency backup power on the other side. And instead now, so that's the bathroom window there, and now we've got the hose coming out this side instead. It was just too much of a travel. When these bottles are heavy, they're about 40 kg, so obviously right next to the gate for deliveries. Recently acquired this from my dad over the road. We've got all the drawers, it's all a complete kit. It's just absolutely been left to time. So we're going to redo it all. It's probably going to be like a family play board game thing. Store all the board games and family stuff in there in the dining room. So recently on the social media channels, we went down to the local tip, got a bit of materials, a load of logs. They're too wet for this year, and I've started to cut them to store them down the bottom. So not much has changed around this back alley. Apart from just getting a bit cluttered, but we use it all the time. The door, that's another thing that we acquired from down there for free. Thinking of turning that into the front gate door instead of the green one in the future. This 5.5 metre long beam used to be from the entire span of the old garage, and we're going to sand it down, and that's going to be our main supporting beam for the kitchen ceiling. It just takes a lot. And we use cordless tools, so it takes a while to get through it, and I've only done like one side. So these are the drawers for that cabinet, all matching. So it just needs a acid dip, and they'll all be back to brand new. So it's important to do the vlog today before it gets any later, because you can already see we've got a lot of stuff going on over there, and loads of poles and pegs representing future buildings. So ideally the kitchen ends at the red brick there. That's all living in. So all the mud rooms, we've got 2 rooms. The green door, that entrance is to the tool room and storage, and then this back room is just random stuff really, for Bulgaria related. So all that will be rebuilt completely down to the ground, new footings, new roof, bringing the new roof across, and we would like to have French doors, like glass French doors on the end to come out to a pagoda or a porch with like a lean-to trellis thing, and that's what these 2 poles represent. So it's going to be about 15 metres square, and then it's going to be raised above soil level eventually. And these 3 green poles here, we've got 1, 2 and 3. This is going to be like an outdoor kitchen. So you'd come through this back alley, and you can walk either right, because you don't want to always be going over across the nice bit with the furniture, especially with wheelbarrows, etc. So having a good gap around is really important. So we're just having a bit of a play around, and you might guess what these 4 pegs represent. So hoping to start digging the pool soon. The budget's still quite tight, but I mean, it doesn't cost anything to dig a hole, does it? So it keeps us busy. So you can see, yeah, I mean it's a working garden. So I'm going to walk to the end and explain what changes have been done. So the pool is going to be around about 4 by 8. It's going to be risen about 600, 700, and then down 1 meter. And then there's going to be like steps, 3 or 4 steps on this side, and then like 8 steps on that side. These blue poles, this is going to represent like a raised bed area with like that peach tree might come out, and it might be like benches and lounges, and it'll separate the growing garden to the leisure. So obviously all the veg, we've literally just got swede left and a bit of a scraggly kale there going on. Got some mulch around it to keep it warm. I'm probably going to harvest it on Christmas Day. Okay, so about 4 months ago on the last video, we just started getting all this hardcore bed up to scratch, and that's all it is really for now. And you might wonder where all this materials have come from, but then after tidying the garden, I don't know if you can see it from here, right at the back looks a lot tidier, so I'll go down and explain about that in a minute. So this is what we do, we just, all the crap, these are soft clear bricks, so a couple of weeks in the rain they just flatten into literal just clay, so it helps bind it all together. Mud bricks as like a retaining thing. So yeah, we've got all the wood and planks and useful stuff and trusses and joists. They're all in the polytunnel because it reaches about 60 degrees on a standard day in there. So that's literally like bone dry. We've got all the useful stuff that we want to upcycle or maybe use for outbuildings, like window frames or doors. There's a half of a door left in that pile somewhere, and we recently used it to build the dishwasher front door by scratch, bespoke dishwasher door, kind of like a farmhousey style. Show you that in a minute. So yeah, tuckle bricks, tiles. It's just really materials, not really much to explain there. So this is the wood store. Okay, so if you just step in, oh, it's a bit hot, so I won't be staying very long. Useful Bulgarian stuff. It's a bit of a mess because we've just dug through it to make a bit of a memory mural that you might have seen on our social media channels. That's potentially going to be the new fuse board cover, but we're not sure yet. So you can see, just DIY stuff really. All the old trusses, and like they're baking dry, so no smoking in here. So that's about that. Just thought I'd show you. Give it a zip. Okay, so the route I'm going is kind of backwards from what I usually do, but I'll try and keep it symmetrical. So yeah, we've got this Marabella that's self-seeded. That's like a little berry, kind of like small plums, but a lot more juicier. I think that's pear or plum, I don't know. Big bonfire, that's all nice and raked out. All the ash is spread out. Really happy with that. Hazelnut tree, I mean, we keep thinking they're dying and then we keep thinking they're coming back, so we're just leaving them alone now. It gets quite frustrating when it gets your hopes up. So these white lines, we recently emptied the ash bin, and we don't like it being so concentrated in one area, so we just walk around with dripping it everywhere. So coming down this way now, you might see what we've been up to. Okay, so if you ignore the fact that this end of the roof is falling down, because obviously it's just higgledy-piggledy up there. The porch awning, that was just made out of corrugated metal. That's come down to try and help us build a bit of temporary guttering. All the boulders and building materials, like I said, they're behind us on the hardcore bed. Most of them are here. They're going to be used to redo some footings for the perimeter fence, and like I say, do some raised beds around there, and another retaining wall there when that gets into a drive at the back. Tree stumps are going, almost got down to the last one, which is the big peach. We've recently moved all of the log store into the cellar, so this is all that we've recently cut like this week. So if you imagine this and the odd bags of tinder doubled again, well, the other half of it is in the cellar, and these are all the old beams and tree trunks. These are from earlier this year, and these are from last year when we took down all like the wine barrel room that used to be there and the awning lean-tos from the other side. And we're trying to clear all this so it's just 2 or 3 areas, so this can come down and the garden can be carrying on. I'm trying to make it level. And on that point, you can't really tell now that the mud's dried out, but we're in a big dip in the garden right now. You might be able to see it kind of go up there, and that's been continuously, it's like it's always flooding, etc, etc. So when we moved all the builders materials, and within that I started dismantling the path, and that's why we couldn't go through the green door, because I would have just ended up falling and making a fool out of myself. So take away the path, take down the outbuildings, and what we've done is, this used to have all the red bricks and tiles, etc, all the way around. You've seen it in the previous videos anyway, but it was on a verge, and the verge of the banking was almost up to the top of them foundations all the way around, and it kind of like feathered to the water meter pit. So we've dug it all out completely flat, and that's why half of the roots are now exposed on that tree. And with all this extra mud and earth, that's why I've been trying to bring the level across. And then with the rest of the garden, we're going to use the mud from the swimming pool excavation. Should be enough to flatten it around. What else? Yeah, so these pansies, and I think I don't know what these ones are called, but they love it in the shade, and they look nice. So all these are saplings and replanted that used to be here in the middle near the path, and they're liking it there, so that's good. We got given some strawberries, but obviously they've seen better days. I mean, they're trying to grow in a desert of dry clay mud at the minute. So you can see that was the depth, and it was absolutely hard to dig that, to be honest. Did my back in as well. Tidied it all this was overgrown with just weeds and vines. Last time we was in the city, we purchased blueberry and raspberry, I think, and then we've got another raspberry right over the other side that we're going to bring over here, and this is going to be like the berry garden. So we're going to have pomegranate bushes, we're going to have cranberries, all sorts in this kind of area. And the balcony's all been tidied. Obviously we've got a bit of cosmetic work to do. That frame is my dad's. It used to have the solar panels on it, but that's going to be moved shortly. So yeah, you can see when we took down the balcony, it exposed a bit of a concrete footing, and there was just fucking rat nest in it and all sorts, so that was nice to get rid of that, cement all the holes. So we just got a bit of rebar to chop off and redo that. 2 of the solar panels are there, not connected anymore, and then 2 of them are up there. Recently put some trims on the front door to stop the drafts as well. So in the greenhouse down there, that cover double door thing I was telling you about, the white and blue one, could be either here, or we might potentially move the fuse board to the cellar on the other side. But obviously it's all the 3-phase armoured cable is on the outside, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. We might wait till next year for that, and in that process we rebuild the windowsill, because all this concrete plinth got took down, rebuilt, and instead of a door we got this window. So we got a bit of plastering to do, but it's coming on, it's looking good. Finally replaced the window. That bit of ply used to be there from when we took down James the Giant Peach. I think there's a video of it on YouTube where the big branch flies into the window and cracks it, and that was one of our first holidays, maybe even 2020, late 2020. And it took us 2 years to cut a bit of glass, so shows you how busy and what we prioritise. Right, I'm going to go through the front door. I'll give you. Usually I go on the balcony and show you a view, but can't do that anymore. So you can see it's going to be nice with like berries and trellises and things around there. So you work on quite a bit of space here, so maybe next time all the outbuildings will be down, the earth will be levelled. I might even have a hole in the garden for the pool. Come in the front door, big transformation, hallway floors been concreted and self-levelled. We've only just got the boiler back, but whilst we're waiting for it, fitted the thermostat. And it's convenient how we haven't got any final fixings or cosmetics done yet, so we can just chisel out the wall and take it to where it needs to be. Not much going on the bedroom, just clean washing, trying to sort that out. Still got another curtain rail to make out of a tree branch, but that's on the list. Lounge has recently just been decommissioned, not a lot going on in here. Used to have the couch, but we moved that downstairs for the cold weather to relax in front of the fire. So this room currently has no electrics. We disconnected the electrics when we moved all the power and the lighting cable through the window outside to get to the fuse board. So all this is going to get rewired next year. So that's just the dressing room at the minute. No need to go into there. Started bringing all the outdoor plant pots in. So we got a bit of pineapple, some roses, pomegranate from seed, orange tree from seed, still alive. Like they're pretty good. Spider plant, loads of babies. These wires are going to fit a light switch here. Because as we're living, we're finding out our habits. So the current light switch is there, which powers it. But then as you're at the bottom of the stairs, you're always walking up the stairs in the dark to bed. So it's nice to turn it on and then be able to turn it back off. So that's in progress. This is a stinky stump. Just one of the stumps that I took out of the garden. Just a nice little table thing, really. So you notice that's not the same boiler as what we used to have. So it's not connected, it's only just arrived like this week. So they sent us back that one, which is a version lower than ours, and they didn't even unwrap the packaging to even test it. So Dad's going to come round, have a play with it, try and get one of them or the two working. Recently did the shower base, had some formwork that we recently took off. The bucket's just there to catch any drips before it goes off. So we've got a couple of more weeks for it to cure before we can give it a very light sand, because at the minute it's very gritty, because it was a heavy sand mix. Give it a very light sand, and then we've got some bathroom humidity proof, waterproof paint, and then we're going to mix it with the diamond matte. It's not going to be the final finish, it's just to give it some protection so we can use it. And we've got all the stones to seal as well. But it's going to be like not bamboo, but lats, wooden lats. So you're not going to be able to see the drain, and the water will just crash through the wooden battens and sink. But pretty happy with the floor. You can definitely see how we've done the bevel there, and then it's only about 15 mil higher all the way around than the actual drain. So it was quite difficult to get the slow and gradient slope up there, but we're pretty happy with it. Took the bathroom door off to use the plasterboard. Show you why in a minute. So this is all the memorabilia box of the previous owners that we've used and gone through. Got some like cine film comics there, just old things really. Nice to keep them. And that's the box where we've used to choose for the mural, which I'll show you in a minute. So the couch is down here. It's a bit tight, but it makes it cosy. Dad has recently lent us the fire whilst we were in the process of changing the boilers around, because we've still got no hot water. It's been like 6 months, and so we've got a bigger fire. So usually the ornamental one will go there, but it just doesn't kick out enough heat. So we've got that there temporarily. Job list, kind of just doing its own thing at the minute. We haven't really been keeping up with it, but we've just been doing random stuff. So coming into the kitchen, I mean, look at that for a view so far. You can see there's tools everywhere, but everything's in progress. So floating shelf, handmade out of some steel bars. Well happy with that. You could sit on that and it wouldn't even sag, so that's a absolutely achievement. Completely restored this cabinet. The doors were sliding. You got to check out the social media post about that because we are so happy. It looks like something from Oak Furniture Land in the UK. Little things going on. So we were able to fit the table in here. Other things, we've seen that be restored. Cooker in its final resting place with a splashback and the hood that's working. And once these stones are sealed with the same stone sealer as the shower, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, this is the dishwasher door I was telling you about. It's got a bit of plaster bloody spilt on it there, but who cares? So this is kind of semi-permanent fixtures. We're definitely going to keep this in the kitchen somewhere, and then we just got to build some sort of thing to match that, integrate the dishwasher. Might get around to stone tiling the floor. It's going to be similar to that, but they're going to be a lot larger to try and have a different dimension to the kitchen. We've also like redone all the line plastering, took it all around down there. That's going to be where the new buttress wall is, so there's no point plastering past that. Pointed around this corner, fitted the cellar door, fitted the framing, so we just need to get the glass for that. Stained the beam, and this is the previous owners, our nod to them. You've got family pictures and newspaper article and etc, etc. So the big long beam that's outside currently, that's going to be keyed into the corner there, and it's going to be supporting the bow, take the bow out the ceiling. So it's going to span all the way along, and then when there's going to be like a buttress wall there and another one behind the fridge with some lintels, and they're going to support it from that side. You can see we're in the process of cement rendering this area here, and then we're back out that door. So all's good really. Just banged my head. It's going to be amazing when we can get that looking like the other one in the kitchen. So I'll take it back round. I mean, I love the fact where I just love it. Just love where we live. So I've used the camera today. Let me know if you've noticed any differences in quality. I hope so. I mean, I tried to talk about a lot, and I know the videos can stretch on to about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. But I feel like sometimes it's just good to do the full vlog. So I'm just going to quickly walk as I'm ending the video. So that's our perimeter wall corner, and you'll notice that it's about 50 meters long. 50 by 25 is the whole plot. So I'm just never really come down this angle. So I thought, whilst I've got the wide lens, I'll show you. So the plan is you're coming down this street, and then we're going to have like a driveway, sliding gate thingy, bit of a pagoda, barn, garage, studio, and then we're going to have a privacy screen in the middle built into the raised planter, and you can just see the pool poles there, so that sets the private leisure garden away. And then this bit of garden here will have all the trees, the food forest, carrying all the way down there. And that sums up the quarterly update. Let us know what you think, and if you want to see more videos, just drop us a message or put it in a comment, and hope to see you on the next one. Cheers guys, bye.